Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be any secret once we read out the results. This was not a good week for fantasy football, for me at least. For others who had individuals like Saquon Barkley, or, I don't know, David Montgomery, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, any of those guys, it was great for them. In my leagues where 120 to 150 would be a pretty good score and not guarantee a win, but make sure you're in a really good position to come out with the dub, that was on the low side. And a lot of my scores were there. I would have beaten others in the league, but of course I was playing the highest scoring person in the league. So there were times where scores, again, average 120 to 150 good, were over 200. So that's not good for me, but it's all good. We're going to own it because this is part of the season. You have to make those decisions. You have to make the big cuts. The people who you're like, investment. I'm sticking with them, a dog. They're not going to win you a championship. Or you have to go out on a limb and pick up that waiver wire risk. You have to go out and say, hey, this guy did well. This guy's going to do well. This other guy's not performing as well. Whatever it may be, you have to go out on a limb sometimes. So we're going to go over the results. We're going to go over some of the guys you might want to take risk on. And we're going to wipe away all my tears. We're going to go ahead and start with the Vince McMahon Football Club. And this week we lost 177 to 132. Oof. Our highest score was Matthew Stafford with 36, followed by the Lions defense with 29, and then Puka Nacua getting me 19. A lot of my guys really failed me, but ETN only got me 3 points, Romeo Doubs only got me 1 point, and Tucker Kraft came in with a goose egg. Golly, man. The action this week did include Trey Benson, who is going to be a very valuable handcuff, especially if the Cardinals want to rest old man James Conner down the stretch, as they are number one in their division. That's crazy. And then we also picked a wide receiver and apparently the apple of Mr. Anthony Richardson's eye, Alec Pierce. The drops did include Mr. Devin Singletary and no longer needed third string, maybe fourth string running back from the Niners, Isaac Guerendo. While we are 4-7 in this league, funny enough, we're still only 2 games out from being in playoff contention. So it's not crazy. Yes, we are in last, but let's go on a hot streak. Let's win 3 in a row. That's crazy. I know, to get 75% of the wins through 11 weeks where, we have to just pick up and win 3 in a row to potentially get in the playoffs. That's crazy talk, but it's not impossible. Let's keep the faith because, again, 4-7, not the end of the world. Let's be that wild card team. Let's be the 2007 New York Giants. Even though I'm a Redskins fan, let's be the Giants, at least in this league. And the next team we're going to talk about is the Jerome Horwitz Purple Dragons. This league is a non-PPR. It is a very strict, straightforward scoring league. So we lost this week, 93 to 73. So essentially just take those scores and double them and you would be right in line with some of the rest of my leagues and some of the rest of those scores. But 73 looks really, really bad. What makes it even worse is I had 2 guys who scored more than half of my points. Cooper Kupp got me 22, while Josh Jacobs got me 18. So great on them, but where were the rest of my guys? I'll tell you what they were doing. Nick Chubb was getting me 5 points, while Darnell Mooney got me 2 points, and Tucker Kraft came in with another goose egg. 2 goose eggs, 2 of my teams. Come on, man. The only add this week was the Packers defense, while we dropped the Ravens defense, which is crazy to even think about saying, but it is. We're sitting at 5-6, 3rd overall in the division, and 6th overall, so we're barely in the playoffs. I feel good. We'll be able to win. We'll be able to win out. I feel like we'll be able to squeak into the playoffs, and we'll be good. I do like my running backs. I really like my wide receivers. I'm really going to have to worry about my tight end, because that's where you either have Sam Laporta hurt, not getting targets, or getting a ton of targets, or Tucker Kraft, who literally disappeared this last week. So that's my concern. But in any case, not terrible, standings in this league. we're right in the mix. I would like to have one or two more wins. We should have one or two more wins, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. And the third team we're going to talk about is the Party Time Party Boys, where this week we lost 151 to 129. As we talked about before, between 120 and 150, you were pretty much guaranteed a win, or at least put yourself in very good position. I scored 129, obviously not enough because someone scored that 150. So again, put yourself in good shape to come out with the victory. Someone else who tried to put me in good shape was Joshua Jacobs. That's right, I use his full name. He got me 23 points, finally getting involved a little more in the passing game, so good on you, Packers, for doing that for me. However, I had two other guys who did get involved, but wish you would have been a little more involved. Tyreek Hill got me 19, and Ladd McConkey got me 18. I also cannot forget that my Houston Texans defense also got me 19. And on the other side of that, Darnell Mooney and Mark Andrews both got me 4 points. Come on, man. And then CJ Stroud did score 11. That's not great, but I put a lot of faith in him. I have him in like 3 of my 4 leagues. You're not performing as well as I want you to, man. That hurts. But what does not hurt is the fact that my 2 ads, Demario Douglas, wide receiver for the Patriots, who thought you would get anyone from the Patriots because of that terrible play, just offensively in general. And the Houston Texans defense did well for me. Douglas got me like 9 or 10 points, and obviously the Texans got me 19, so great pickups there. And in return, I had to drop Demarcus Robinson and the Chargers defense. But I told you the Chargers defense was going to come to an end of their time of being relevant. They're going to have some very tough obstacles these next few weeks, and they're going to fall off. But they did well for me these last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I hope they did well for you as well, because I told you to pick them up a few weeks ago. Remember that. So at this point in time, I'm 4-7. I'm not out of contention, though. I'm 2 or 3 wins out from getting to the playoffs, which is crazy, but crazier things have happened. So again, let's revert back to the Vince McMahon Football Club and say, let's be the 2007 New York Giants. Even though we're Redskins fans, we want to squeak into the playoffs and then surprise everyone, because that's what we do. We just go in, wreak havoc, we FSU. Not Norvell's FSU, not like literally just go in and like ruin ourselves because we're terrible. We go in and we actually like mess stuff up. Like we win, we score a lot. Let's do that. More than 129. The last team we're going to talk about is the deranged Easter Bunny team. And this week, this might be the most frustrating loss, 185 to 147, that I've had, because I had phenomenal starts from a few guys. CJ Stroud got me 39 points. So I talked about him only getting 11 before, but he got 39 in this league without any touchdowns and throwing an interception. So what a wasted start. Puka Nacua got me 31, while David Montgomery scored 2 touchdowns. He got me 26. So those 3 guys did everything could to help me win. However, on the other side, Nick Chubb got me 5 points. And then I had a combined 4 points from Travis Kelce and Scary Terry McLaurin. So you still think, okay, dude, like you scored 147 points. Like, what made the other guy score so many points? Joe Mixon. That's who. Joe Mixon scored 39 points for him. Real quick, I don't like math, but what is 85 minus 39? Well, we'll do 85 minus 40. That'll put 45, and you give him one more point, 46. I should have won! But I didn't. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. The ads for the deranged Easter Bunny did include Baker Mayfield, Brandon Codrington, who is the kick and or punt returner for the Bills. Remember, this league does count return yards, so he was able to get me more than some of the defensive linemen were this week. Also added the Rams defense and the Chargers defense, along with Cedric Tillman and Isaac Pacheco. He should be coming off the IR here shortly and could make an impact for a finally beaten Chiefs offense. I can't stand the Chiefs. And the drops did include Kyle Van Noy, because I needed another defensive player. DJ Moore, because he's got Caleb Williams thrown to him. The Ravens defense, the Chargers defense, and Tank Bigsby. That hurt me because he got hurt, and now ETN is the number one guy, and ETN is about as useful as his brother was this past week. His brother didn't play this past week, so that tells you how useful he was. Right now, I'm 6-5 in this league. I am right now sitting 5th in the overall playoff contention. They take the top 6, so I have a game to work with. I feel good. I feel like I'm going to get in the playoffs, squeak in, not necessarily go without any noise, and people know I have a decent team, so it's not going to go under the radar when I get in. But again, I'm still in playoff contention for all of these teams. I just need a little more help than others, like some of the SEC teams. They need some losses from top teams. You know how it is. Now we're going to get to the people I think you should add. I know this is coming out very late Wednesday, so your waiver wire has probably already been picked over, but can't hurt, I think you should probably look at Bo Nix. As much as that pains me to say, because I hate Auburn and I hate Oregon, mainly because they're overrated. I say overrated because they care more about how they look than how they play. They're here for the clicks. Yeah. Unlike, what they said last year. They're here for the clicks. They're here for the clicks. They just want to look cool. But it is what it is. Bo Nix should be your guy. Because he's going against a Raiders defense that is awful. Could also look at defenses such as the Redskins. That's right. The Redskins are playing the Dallas Cowgirls with Cooper Rush at quarterback. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since Mr. CeeDee Lamb scored a touchdown. CeeDee did get 90-plus yards last week, so that was good. But even the check down target, Jake Ferguson, got 1 reception. So I feel good about the Redskins being the defense this week. Or you could pick the Buccaneers defense because they're going against the Giants. I don't care who they're putting it. They can put Danny DeVito back there. They can bring Daniel Jones back. You'd be better luck bringing Tyrod Taylor back. But in any case, the Buccaneers defense going to have a really good day. And while we're talking a little bit about defenses and then a little bit about offenses when it comes to quarterback, you should probably look at Taysom Hill. Why would he be included with defense? Because he's a Swiss Army knife. He makes tackles on special teams. He plays tight end. He plays a little bit of quarterback. He can play running back. Get this man on your team somehow. I don't know what position you put him at. Don't put him at quarterback, I don't think, because he doesn't throw enough to even really be a quarterback, but he is like the second or third string quarterback behind Carr. In any case, get Taysom Hill on your team somehow. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's not always going to get you big points, but last week he scored like 40-plus points, so that can't be bad for any team. That's going to do it for the recap. Hopefully you're able to pick over your waiver wire. Hopefully you're doing better than I am in my leagues, and hopefully you won a game this past week. Unlike me, you can't always win them, but at least win one. I got 4 teams, right? This is J-Cake, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.